Your Bengal experience starts with Kolkata, the colonial capital of India on the banks of the Ganga. International and domestic flights connect this 300-year-old city with the rest of the world. Kolkata is a modern metropolis that refuses to forsake its past. The fusion of the old and new, the enigmatic coexistence of the traditional and futuristic typify the city. And a must-see for all visitors, the new-look waterfront, now the Millennium Park. Don't forget to visit Kolkata Greens, the Maidan area. Part of the Maidan is the famous racecourse, another traditional attraction of the city. An afternoon or morning at the sprawling Calcutta Golf Club can be another good way to spend your leisure. Both the racecourse and the golf club are colonial heritages and over a century old. A number of star category hotels in the city offer tourists comfortable to luxurious accommodation according to one's choice. A visit to Kolkata must include the palaces, temples and mansions that adorn the cityscape. The 1921 Victoria Memorial, elegant and imposing. The 1814 Town Hall. The 1780 Writers' Building. The 1823 Thakurbari at Jorashako, the family home of the Tagores and the place where the poet Rabindranath was born. The famous temple of the goddess Kali at Kalighat, one of the traditional landmarks of the city. However, Kolkata remains incomplete without its people and their festivals. The greatest festival of Kolkata and Bengal is the Durgapuja, celebrated during autumns. West Bengal Tourism conducts regular tours during the festivals. Any such tour takes you round the traditional homes and intricately decorated community puja pandals. The beautiful idols of the goddess Durga, the solemn rites, the decor and the endless festivities. The pujas introduce you to the cultural feast that is Bengal. On its long journey to the Bay of Bengal, the Ganga runs through almost the entire length of Bengal before literally bisecting it into two distinct parts, south and north. A journey along the river is a journey along the streams of Bengal history. Upstream from Kolkata and 225 kilometers away lies Murshidabad on the left bank of the Ganga. It was the seat of the last Nawabs of Bengal and the pre-colonial capital of the region. Murshidabad is a town immersed in the past, full of old palaces, mosques and mansions. All of these are worth visiting, especially the impressive Hazar Dwari or the Palace of Thousand Doors. Upstream from Murshidabad and across the Ganga are the early medieval monuments at Gaur and Pandua near the Malda town. The 1425 Dakhil Darwaza, the 1485 Firoz Minar, the 1360 Adina Mosque, the 1428 Ikhlaqi Mosque. Though partially in ruins, all the monuments still bear testimony to the architectural richness of medieval Bengal. For a better and richer exposure to the terracotta art though, make a detour to the medieval town of Bishnupur. Located on the laterite upland in the southwest Bengal and about 200 kilometers from Kolkata, Bishnupur has everything you look for. Bishnupur has everything you look for. 1643 Shamuroy, the 1655 Jor Bangla and the 1694 Madan Mohan. The wall panels and doors in these temples represent the best in Bengal terracotta. And in the tradition of all major Indian temples, carry motifs from the myths as well as the contemporary social lives of the rulers and the gentry. While in Bishnupur, don't forget to take a look at the famous Baluchari and Swarnachari saris and handicraft items like Dosh Avatar cards and the terracotta horses. In another part of the laterite upland and 136 kilometers from Kolkata awaits a heritage experience of a different kind altogether. Shanti Niketan, literally a home of peace. Poet Rabindranath Tagore himself created this international center of learning to promote universal brotherhood and peace. The entire place is an open-air school-cum-university and also an open-air art museum. The best of modern artists and sculptors of Bengal and India lived and worked in Shantiniketan, and the beautiful murals and carvings on the building walls reflect that. Especially worth visiting are the buildings where the poet lived and which he designed himself. Murshidabad, Bishnupur, Gaur and Shantiniketan have well-appointed tourist lodges run by the West Bengal Tourism Development Corporation. Besides, there are several middle-end hotels in the Shantiniketan area. Another equally memorable cruise takes you to the Sundarvans, where the Ganga and its innumerable branches flow into the Bay of Bengal, forming the world's largest estuarine mangrove forests in the process. The Sundarvans are now declared a World Heritage Site. The Sundarban cruises offered by West Bengal Tourism start from Bashanti, a small township near Kolkata. Within 2 hours of leaving Bashanti, you reach the wilderness zone. Dense mangrove forests tower on 2 sides as you pass through a labyrinth of narrow creeks. The creeks are linked to canals and rivers, which in turn link directly to the Bay of Bengal. Another cruise starts from Namkhana on the western fringes of the Sundarbans. The huge watery expanse and the mangroves are now part of a biosphere reserve and a tiger project. The rivers support a sizable population of marsh or mugger crocodiles and large monitor lizards. The forests are full of wild boar, which you see often. Spotted deer are not infrequent. And of course, the Royal Bengal tiger, traditionally man-eating and elusive. Presence can be felt from the barbed wire fences along the pathways to the watchtowers deep inside the forest. The Sundarbans harbour the largest number of tigers anywhere in the world, over 250. Another important part of the Sundarbans landscape is its people. Small country boats of fishermen or honey collectors you see everywhere, in every creek, canal and river. Life is generally peaceful in the Sundarban mangroves as long as a man-eater does not claim a human victim. From Kolkata, proceed due north to northern West Bengal to continue your sojourn with nature. Here, dense moist forests cover the eastern Himalayan foothills and tall grasses shelter the highly endangered one-horned Asiatic rhino. Better known as the Duars or the gateway to the neighboring country of Bhutan, these forests are now largely part of several wildlife sanctuaries and national parks. Most prominent among these sanctuaries is Joldapara, the home of the rhino. At Joldapara and the national park at Gorumara, you can watch rhinos, deer and gour or bisons from elephant back. Eastern corner of Duars is the trim little township of Cooch Behar, the capital of the old kingdom of Cooch Behar. However, the 19th century royal palace is still the prime attraction. Besides the palace, the town has a number of heritage buildings and the famous Madan Mohan temple. Not far from Cooch Behar lies the Roshikbil Lake, a large natural wetland. The lake and the surrounding forests have been turned into a nature tourism complex now. Near Cooch Behar and Roshikbil is the largest forest of North Bengal, the Buxa Tiger Reserve. Though wildlife is hard to spot in the dense foliage of the evergreen forests, a visit to Buxa can be worthwhile just for its pristine landscape. And the best way to enjoy the forest landscape of Buxa is to take a trip to Jayanti, a small and pretty hamlet that nestles on the borders of the Bhutan foothills. From Jayanti, trek to Pokri Pahar and the historic Buxa Fort. These are short treks that involve strenuous uphill climbs and take you through some of the richest forests in eastern India. The Buxa Fort is in ruins now, but the dilapidated walls keep reminding you of a time when the colonial government used to detain Indian freedom fighters in this jail in the clouds. Apart from the forests, Duars is worth a visit just for its landscape. The undulating plains are crisscrossed by countless rivers and small streams. The streams flank the green sprawl of tea gardens. Narrow roads wind up hillocks covered by more beautifully laid gardens. Beyond the plains, the Himalayas stand mighty and serene. A visit to Duars is an enchanting experience, and there are many destinations to choose from. Accommodation in Duars is available mainly in tourism and forest lodges, like this elegant, well-located lodge at Murti near Godumara National Park. Joldapara is best approached from the lodges at Holong and Madarihat. For visits to tea gardens, Malbazar Tourist Lodge would be a good choice. Top-end accommodation is available at Chalsha at the luxurious Sinclair's Retreat. Great natural beauty and colonial heritage lend charm to Darjeeling, the queen of Indian hill resorts. Dominated by the Kanchenjunga Massif, which is best watched from the Tiger Hill Observatory Tower, Darjeeling town is full of typical Raj architecture. Several of the old buildings now offer top-end tourist accommodation. Besides unique natural beauty, Darjeeling is home to the finest tea in the world. While at Darjeeling, take a leisurely stroll along the mall. Ride a pony or go to Ghum, which would be a journey by the famous toy train of Darjeeling. A ride in this train would be an unforgettable delight and the best way to savor the old-world charm of the place. The Darjeeling Himalayan Railways have also been declared as a World Heritage by UNESCO. From Darjeeling, a serpentine road descends to the Teesta, the best-known river in the Darjeeling Himalayas. After crossing the river, ascend to Kalimpong, another old-world colonial hill town. Here too, the main attraction is the snow-capped Kanchenjunga, best watched from the compounds of the Durgapuja-The Buddhist monastery. Near Durgapuja-The and on a hilltop is Morgan House, a beautiful heritage structure and now a tourist lodge run by the West Bengal Tourism Development Corporation. Darjeeling, another beautiful cottage in the same complex, also offers tourist accommodation. A visit to Kalimpong must include an excursion to Dello Hill. A new hotel stands right on the hilltop. From Dello, proceed to Lava and Lolegaon for a glimpse of eastern Himalayan forests. From Kalimpong to Lava and Lolegaon, the road passes first through pine forests and then rich moist vegetation typical of the Himalayas. Accommodation is available in forest lodges, ethnic huts and furnished tents. Not far from where the Ganga meets the Bay of Bengal is Bokhali, a tiny and relatively unknown seaside resort. The seafront here has thick Kasurina forests and a long flat mud beach. The peace and rustic charm of the place soon engulf you and provide for a quiet, relaxed holiday. For the ultimate sea experience in Bengal though, you visit the twin beaches of Digha and Shankarpur, less than 200 kilometers from Kolkata. In spite of being an extremely popular destination with domestic tourists, Digha has a charm of its own. The Kasurina fringed wide and long beach, the restless surf, and plenty of beach activities like horse riding, or simply walk along the stone-paved alley that skirts the seafront of Digha.